Ladies and gentlemen, how many of you have ever had a dream, a vision, a goal so powerful that it kept you up at night? And yet, how many times have you found yourself making an excuse for why you haven't achieved it yet? I'm too tired. I don't have enough time. I'm not ready. Let me tell you something right now. Excuses are the silent killers of dreams. They disguise themselves as logic, as reasons, as justifications, but in reality, they are the walls you build between yourself and the life you truly want. And if you keep feeding them, they will rob you of every opportunity, every breakthrough, every success that is waiting for you on the other side of action. Actions are the silent killers of your dreams. They are the stories you tell yourself to justify why you haven't achieved what you know deep down you are capable of. They're easy to make, they're comfortable, and they let you off the hook without you ever having to face the uncomfortable reality of growth and change. But here's the thing, excuses don't just keep you stuck, they actually make you weaker. They rob you of your power, your potential, and most importantly, your future. Every time you make an excuse, you reinforce the belief that you're not capable, that you're not worthy, or that circumstances are simply too difficult for you to overcome. What starts as a simple justification for not acting becomes a pattern of letting yourself down, a pattern that continues to define your life, creating a cycle of missed opportunities, wasted time, and regret. When you allow excuses to take root, you're not just avoiding action, you're telling your brain that it's okay to settle for mediocrity. You're choosing comfort over growth, fear over courage, and inactivity over the momentum that can propel you toward success. And the longer you let excuses control your behavior, the harder it becomes to break free from their grip. But the truth is, every excuse you make only reinforces the belief that you're not capable of achieving what you want. Each time you say, I don't have enough time, or I'm not good enough, you are conditioning yourself to believe those things are true. You begin to see the world as a place where obstacles are bigger than you, and you'll never find the courage to take that first step forward. Think about it. How many people out there have dreams, goals, and aspirations, but when it comes down to actually putting in the work, they find an excuse. I'll start tomorrow. It's too late. I don't have enough resources, or I'm too old. Excuses come in all shapes and sizes, and they feel valid in the moment, but they are all just ways of avoiding responsibility. And what happens when you avoid responsibility? You fail to take action. The key to overcoming excuses is recognizing them for what they really are, mental traps. They're not real limitations, they're just beliefs you've accepted. They feel real, they feel true, but they are the product of your fears, your doubts, and your inability to face discomfort. But once you start seeing them for what they are, you can choose to break free. The moment you acknowledge that excuses are just distractions, you realize that you have the power to silence them. You begin to realize that no matter how big or small the goal is, the only thing standing between you and success is your willingness to take action, no matter how uncomfortable it may seem. Think about all the people who have achieved extraordinary things in their lives. They didn't wait for the perfect moment, the perfect resources, or the perfect conditions. They simply started. They took the first step, then the second, and then the third. They didn't let excuses stop them because they knew that the only way to succeed was by showing up every single day and doing the work. The good news is that you have that same power. You are capable of breaking free from the excuses that have been holding you back. But first, you have to make the decision to let go of the story you've been telling yourself about why you can't. You have to make a conscious choice to stop letting fear control you, to stop letting doubt steer your actions, and to stop waiting for the perfect conditions. You have everything you need to get started right now. It's not about having the perfect plan or the perfect timing. It's about having the courage to act in spite of your fears. When you take the first step, even if it's small, you start to build momentum. You prove to yourself that you can do hard things. And once you've proven that, the excuses become less convincing. Every time you take action, you weaken the power of the excuses, and eventually they lose their hold on you entirely. The first step in eliminating excuses is taking full responsibility for your life. Stop blaming others, stop blaming circumstances, and stop blaming your past. You are where you are because of the choices you've made. And if you don't like where you are, the good news is that you have the power to make different choices from this moment forward. You can choose to stop making excuses and start taking action. You can choose to face discomfort head on, knowing that it's the path to growth. It's time to stop letting excuses dictate your future. Your dreams are too important and your potential is too great to let anything, especially excuses, stand in your way. Start today. Make the decision to take action. And in doing so, you'll create the life you've always dreamed of. Action is the bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The world is full of dreamers, people who envision incredible futures for themselves, but the difference between those who succeed and those who remain stuck is one simple thing: action. It's easy to get caught up in the idea of success, to imagine how your life could change if only things were different, but the reality is nothing will change until you take the first step. Dreams and ideas are beautiful, but without action, they remain just that, dreams. Every success story you've ever heard began with a single action, a decision to move forward despite uncertainty, fear, or the lack of a perfect plan. It doesn't matter how small that action is. What matters is that you take it. Success doesn't come from waiting for the right time or hoping that the stars align. It comes from the decision to move even when you don't have all the answers. That's what action gives you, the chance to figure things out as you go. Many people wait for motivation to strike, thinking that once they feel inspired, they'll jump into action. But what they don't realize is that motivation isn't what gets you results. Action creates motivation. When you take that first step, no matter how daunting, momentum starts to build. That initial effort sparks energy, and suddenly you find yourself motivated to take the next step. Motivation doesn't lead to action. Action leads to motivation. It's a cycle that works in your favor when you decide to get moving. Another reason why action is so powerful is that it helps you overcome the fear of failure. Fear keeps people frozen, unable to move forward. They worry about making mistakes, looking foolish, or failing altogether. But the truth is, failure is part of the process. Failure is not something to be avoided. It's something to be embraced. It's the feedback that tells you what's working and what isn't. Every failed attempt is a lesson that brings you one step closer to success. The only true failure is the failure to act. When you take action, you also stop overthinking and overcomplicating the process. The mind has a way of making things seem bigger and more intimidating than they really are. We create barriers in our own minds, convincing ourselves that we need more time, more resources, or more knowledge before we can start. But the reality is, you will never have all the answers. You will never be fully prepared for everything that comes your way. So instead of waiting for the perfect moment, just start. Take one step, and the rest will unfold as you go. Taking action is also what separates the dreamers from the achievers. It's easy to sit back and talk about your goals, to say you want to be successful, to dream about what you could accomplish if only you had the chance. But at some point, you have to stop talking and start doing. You have to stop making excuses and take the initiative. It's not enough to wish for success. You have to work for it. One of the most powerful aspects of action is its ability to build confidence. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you are capable. You gain experience, knowledge, and skills with every step you take, and that creates an unshakable belief in your ability to succeed. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about success, it comes from doing the work. It comes from knowing that you faced challenges head on, taken risks, and persevered despite the obstacles. As you take action, you also start to see results. It may not happen overnight, but every small step you take adds up over time. The compound effect of consistent action is what leads to massive success. You start to build momentum, and eventually you look back and realize just how far you've come. The progress might not always be visible at first, but every action you take gets you closer to your goal. Most importantly, action gives you control over your life. When you sit around and wait for things to change, you give away your power. You let circumstances dictate your future, but when you take action, you become the creator of your destiny. You take responsibility for where you are and for where you want to go. You stop relying on luck or external factors and start relying on your own effort, your own decisions, and your own willingness to take the necessary steps to succeed. So, at the end of the day, action is the only thing that truly separates you from the life you want. You can have the best plans, the biggest dreams, and the greatest intentions, but until you take action, nothing will change. Every moment you delay is a moment lost. Every second you waste waiting for the perfect conditions is another opportunity gone. If you want to achieve anything in life, you must act. You must take that first step, no matter how uncomfortable or uncertain it may feel. Action is what makes things happen. Action is what moves you from where you are to where you want to be. Fear and doubt are two of the most powerful forces that can keep us stuck in our tracks. They feed into each other, creating a vicious cycle that convinces us we are not capable, not worthy, or not good enough. We all face fear in some form: fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of rejection, or even fear of success. And when fear combines with doubt, it becomes a paralyzing force that stops us from moving forward. But here's the truth. Fear and doubt are only as powerful as you allow them to be. When we're faced with a new challenge or goal, fear and doubt immediately show up, trying to keep us comfortable and safe in the place we are. They whisper to us, what if you fail? What if people laugh at you? What if you're not good enough? And in that moment, many of us allow these voices to dictate our actions. We allow these fears to become the reason we don't take that first step, or we take a few steps forward only to retreat when things get tough. The truth is, fear and doubt are natural. Every person who has ever done something great has had to face them. What separates those who succeed from those who don't is the ability to push past these feelings and take action anyway. Fear often gets magnified in our minds. Starts small, perhaps a tiny voice telling us something might go wrong. And the more we think about it, the bigger it grows. Before we know it, fear has become a wall, an obstacle so large that it feels insurmountable. But if you take a step back and challenge those fears, you'll realize they aren't as big as they seem. Most of the time, the fear we experience is not a reflection of reality. It's a product of our own imagination, a mental construct we create based on past experiences or worst-case scenarios. Doubt operates in a similar way. We begin to question our abilities, our worth, and whether we're even capable of reaching the goals we've set for ourselves. Doubt creeps in and convinces us that we're not ready, that we don't have what it takes, that others are better than us. But doubt is a liar. It tells you that you can't achieve something before you even try. It traps you in a state of inaction, making you hesitate to take that first step toward your dreams. The reality is, doubt is just fear in disguise. It's your mind telling you to play it safe, to stay in your comfort zone where things are familiar. But nothing great ever came from playing it safe. When you allow fear and doubt to control your actions, you're essentially giving them power over your life. You are letting them dictate your decisions and limiting your potential. But here's the thing. The more you allow fear and doubt to dictate your behavior, the stronger they become. They start to shape your mindset and affect your actions. You begin to think less of yourself, and your self-worth begins to diminish. It's a dangerous cycle that traps you in mediocrity. However, if you learn to face your fears head-on and take action despite them, you will break that cycle and begin to build resilience and confidence. One of the most important steps in overcoming fear and doubt is to stop waiting for them to disappear. Too many people spend their time hoping that one day the fear will go away, that the doubt will vanish, and that they will suddenly feel ready. But the truth is, you will never feel ready. Fear and doubt will always be there to some degree. It's not about waiting for them to go away. It's about learning to take action anyway. The more you act in the face of fear, the more you prove to yourself that you are stronger than any obstacle. The key to overcoming fear and doubt is to reframe your thinking. Instead of seeing fear as something that holds you back, start to view it as a signal that you are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. Fear is a sign that you are about to grow, that you are about to take on something bigger and better. Every time you feel fear, you are standing at the edge of something new. Fear is not a reason to stop, it's a reason to move forward. Similarly, doubt is an invitation to prove yourself wrong. When you feel doubt creeping in, challenge it. Ask yourself, why do I think I can't do this? What evidence do I have that proves I'm not capable? Often you'll realize that doubt is simply based on assumptions or past experiences that don't define your future. When you push through doubt, you'll find that you're more capable than you ever imagined. Ultimately, fear and doubt are natural emotions that everyone experiences, but they don't have to control your life. You can choose to acknowledge them, understand them, and use them as fuel to move forward. When you choose to act despite your fears, you begin to shift your mindset. You begin to see challenges as opportunities for growth, and you begin to trust yourself more. The more you take action in the face of fear and doubt, the more powerful you become. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than anything that stands in your way. And when you do that, you'll start to realize that the only thing standing between you and your goals is your willingness to act. Success is not a one-time event, it's a habit. The people who consistently achieve their goals are the ones who have cultivated the discipline to show up day in and day out, no matter the circumstances. Discipline is what separates those who succeed from those who fall short. It's easy to start something when you're feeling motivated and excited, but true success comes from the ability to keep going even when the initial excitement fades and the challenges start to pile up. It's easy to take action when everything is going right, but it's in those moments when things aren't working out, when obstacles appear, that discipline is truly tested. Discipline is about making the right choices consistently. It's about understanding that small, positive actions each day compound over time. Success doesn't happen overnight. It's built through consistent effort. Each time you push through the urge to quit, each time you keep going when others might give up, you are reinforcing the habit of success. But it's not just about working hard, it's about working smart, being strategic with your time and energy, and choosing actions that align with your long-term goals. One of the most powerful aspects of discipline is its ability to build momentum. The more disciplined you become, the more success you experience, and the more confident you grow. Momentum is a game changer. It's what makes it easier to keep going when things get tough. When you establish the habit of discipline, the work you put in starts to feel less like a struggle and more like a part of your daily routine. You begin to see the results, and those results become your motivation. It becomes easier to show up, even on the days when you'd rather not. Success becomes a part of who you are. However, discipline doesn't come naturally to everyone. It's something that has to be developed over time. It's easy to get distracted, to procrastinate, and to let life's challenges derail you from your path. But the key to discipline is learning to do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It's about taking responsibility for your own progress, taking ownership of your decisions, and understanding that you are the one in control of your future. Discipline is not something you have to wait for. It's something you create through intentional, focused action. A huge part of discipline is setting clear, specific goals and breaking them down into manageable steps. When you have a clear vision of where you want to go, it's easier to stay on track. You can't be disciplined if you don't know where you're headed. But it's not enough to simply set goals. You have to create a plan to achieve them. Discipline is about following that plan even when the going gets tough. It's about putting in the effort day after day, knowing that each action brings you one step closer to your ultimate objective. Discipline is also about prioritizing what's important. It's easy to get distracted by things that don't serve your long-term goals. Social media, entertainment, and other distractions can easily take up your time if you're not careful. But disciplined individuals know that every minute counts. They prioritize their tasks, focus on what will move them forward, and say no to things that don't align with their objectives. Discipline means saying no to temporary pleasures for the sake of long-term gain. Another important aspect of discipline is the ability to manage setbacks and failure. Life doesn't always go according to plan, and things will not always work out as expected. But disciplined people don't give up when faced with obstacles. They learn from their mistakes, adapt their strategies, and keep moving forward. Discipline is about persistence and resilience. It's about understanding that failure is not the end, but a part of the process. The disciplined person takes responsibility for their failures, learns from them, and then uses those lessons to improve and keep going. When you cultivate discipline, you become more focused, more organized, and more committed to your own success. You stop relying on external factors to motivate you, and instead, you create your own drive. Discipline gives you the power to stay consistent, to push through challenges, and to keep moving toward your goals, no matter how difficult the journey may seem. It allows you to take control of your own life and shape your future. It's not about waiting for things to get easier. It's about becoming the kind of person who is willing to do the hard work day after day to create the life you want. Success doesn't belong to the lucky or the talented. It belongs to those who are willing to put in the work, to stay disciplined, and to keep pushing forward. Discipline is the backbone of achievement, and without it, even the biggest dreams will remain out of reach. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you must embrace discipline as your foundation. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Every moment of discipline adds up over time, and the results will speak for themselves. The power of mindset cannot be underestimated. Your mindset shapes everything about your life, from the way you approach challenges to how you handle success. It influences how you view the world, your ability to overcome obstacles, and your capacity to achieve your goals. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't often comes down to the way they think. People with a growth mindset view failures as opportunities for learning and growth, while those with a fixed mindset see setbacks as proof that they aren't good enough. The right mindset doesn't just improve your chances of success, it transforms your entire experience of life. A growth mindset is the belief that your abilities, intelligence, and talents are not fixed traits, but can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. When you adopt a growth mindset, you stop seeing challenges as threats and start seeing them as opportunities to improve. You understand that mistakes are part of the process and they don't define you. Instead of shying away from difficult tasks, you lean into them because you know that overcoming them will make you stronger, more skilled, and more capable. This mindset allows you to take risks, try new things, and continuously expand your horizons. One of the most powerful things about a growth mindset is its ability to shift your perspective on failure. Most people are afraid of failure because they see it as something final. They believe that if they fail, it means they're not good enough, and that fear of failure keeps them from trying at all. But a growth mindset reframes failure. It allows you to view it as a stepping stone to success, a necessary part of the journey. Every time you fail, you gain valuable information about what works and what doesn't. Instead of feeling discouraged, you feel motivated to try again, armed with new insights and a stronger resolve. In contrast, a fixed mindset operates from the belief that your abilities are predetermined and that failure is a reflection of your lack of ability. With this mindset, people often avoid challenges because they're afraid of looking incompetent. They may give up easily, believing that if something doesn't come easily to them, it's simply not meant to be. This type of thinking limits your potential because it discourages growth, exploration, and risk-taking. It keeps you stuck in your comfort zone, too afraid to step outside and try something new. Having the right mindset also affects your self-talk. When you approach a task with a fixed mindset, your inner dialogue might be filled with phrases like, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, or I'll never figure this out. These negative thoughts not only undermine your confidence, but they also make it harder to take action. But when you adopt a growth mindset, your self-talk becomes more empowering. You start saying things like, I can learn this, I'll figure it out, or this is just another opportunity to grow. Positive self-talk shifts your focus from what you can't do to what you can do, and it encourages you to keep pushing forward. The great thing about mindset is that it can be changed. It's not something you're born with, but something you can cultivate over time. One of the first steps in developing a growth mindset is becoming aware of your current thought patterns. Pay attention to when you tell yourself that you can't do something, when you shy away from challenges, or when you allow fear of failure to dictate your actions. These are the moments when your fixed mindset is in control. The key is to challenge these thoughts and replace them with empowering beliefs. Another important part of developing the right mindset is surrounding yourself with people who inspire and uplift you. The people you associate with have a profound impact on your mindset. If you're constantly surrounded by people who have a fixed mindset, who complain about their circumstances or limit their potential, it's easy to adopt the same mentality. But when you surround yourself with individuals who are growth-minded, who embrace challenges and see setbacks as opportunities, their mindset will influence you as well. You'll start to adopt their belief that anything is possible if you're willing to put in the work. Your mindset also plays a significant role in how you handle adversity. Life is filled with obstacles and challenges, and you will inevitably face moments of hardship. People with a growth mindset don't see these challenges as reasons to quit. Instead, they see them as temporary setbacks that can be overcome. They understand that success isn't a straight line. It's full of twists, turns, and unexpected hurdles. When things get tough, they double down on their effort, knowing that persistence is the key to overcoming adversity. One of the most transformative aspects of a growth mindset is that it empowers you to keep going even when things get difficult. Instead of giving up when things don't go as planned, you find ways to adapt, learn, and grow. With a fixed mindset, you might give up or blame external factors. But with a growth mindset, you take full responsibility for your progress. You understand that the key to success lies in your ability to keep pushing forward no matter how hard the road gets. Ultimately, your mindset shapes your entire reality. The way you view yourself, your abilities, and the world around you influences the decisions you make and the actions you take. A growth mindset opens doors and creates opportunities. It allows you to break free from the limitations of self-doubt and fear, and it empowers you to take control of your future. Success begins with the belief that you are capable of achieving it, and with the right mindset, you will find the strength and determination to turn your dreams into reality. The journey to success is often misunderstood as a linear path where everything falls into place easily. However, the truth is that success is a journey filled with struggles, setbacks, and hard choices. The path is rarely straight, and it's those who learn to persist through adversity who ultimately achieve their goals. One of the most important lessons to understand is that the ability to persevere through challenges, to stay committed to your vision despite the obstacles, is the difference maker between those who achieve success and those who don't. Perseverance is not something that is automatically granted to us. It's something we must cultivate. It's easy to remain committed when things are going smoothly, but true resilience shows up when things get tough. When life knocks you down, when you face rejection, when your progress stalls, perseverance is what keeps you going. It's the strength to get back up every time you fall. It's the grit to push through when you're exhausted, discouraged, and feeling defeated. The key is to keep moving forward, even if it's one small step at a time. In those moments of struggle, the most common temptation is to quit. Quitting may seem like the easiest option when the going gets tough, but it's also the most detrimental. When you quit, you're essentially closing the door on all the possibilities that could have been realized if you had just stayed the course. Often we quit just short of a breakthrough. The moment of success we've been working so hard for is just beyond our reach, but we give up before we can grab. It's like the story of the gold miner who stops digging just inches away from the gold. Perseverance is the force that pushes us past the point where we might otherwise stop. Perseverance also involves maintaining focus on the bigger picture. It's easy to become discouraged when you face setbacks, but when you remember why you started in the first place, it helps to reignite your motivation. Every challenge you encounter is part of the process, not a signal to quit. Understanding that each struggle brings you one step closer to your goal allows you to navigate the difficult times with more resilience. Keeping your eyes on your long-term vision helps you push through the short-term difficulties. One of the most important aspects of perseverance is the ability to adapt. It's not just about pushing through with the same approach when things aren't working. Perseverance isn't about stubbornly continuing the same method that's failing. It's about knowing when to adjust, change course, and try a new approach. Often, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is their willingness to adapt and stay flexible in the face of changing circumstances. A person who is truly committed to their goals doesn't see failure as an end, but as a chance to reassess, pivot, and find a new way to move forward. Perseverance also involves the ability to stay optimistic, even when things don't look promising. Life is full of uncertainty, and not everything will go as planned. However, the ability to maintain a positive outlook during times of adversity is crucial. Optimism doesn't mean ignoring the difficulties. It means choosing to focus on the potential for growth and the possibility of success, even when the road is rough. A positive mindset allows you to remain hopeful, knowing that every effort counts and that even setbacks provide valuable lessons. Optimism fuels perseverance because it gives you the belief that things will get better, that your hard work will eventually pay off. It's important to recognize that perseverance doesn't mean doing everything alone. Surrounding yourself with people who support you, who believe in your vision, can make all the difference. These people act as a source of encouragement, helping to lift you up when you're feeling down and offering valuable perspectives when you need them. They remind you of your potential when you're doubting yourself. They keep you accountable and motivated. Perseverance thrives in an environment of support, and when you have the right people around you, you'll find it easier to keep going, even when things seem impossible. Perseverance is also linked to self-belief. The more you believe in your ability to overcome challenges and achieve your goals, the more likely you are to persevere. Self-doubt can undermine perseverance because it makes you question whether it's even worth continuing. The key is to cultivate the belief that despite the difficulties, you are capable of achieving what you set out to do. This belief fuels your actions and drives you to keep pushing forward, even when the road gets rough. Ultimately, perseverance is the trait that allows you to keep going when others give up. It's what helps you stay the course and fight through the tough times. Success doesn't come without effort, and it's the willingness to continue when things get hard that ultimately leads to achievement. Every person who has ever reached a significant milestone has had to persevere through moments of doubt, fear, and failure. They kept going when it felt like the world was working against them, and because of their perseverance, they were able to turn their dreams into reality. You will face obstacles, but as long as you have the determination to keep going, you can achieve anything.